I'm still in this series, Overcomers, looking at the temptations that we face in life, the things that the world throws at us, and how do we overcome. And I'm using the seven deadly sins as a structure, but not confining myself to the seven deadly sins. And today I want to talk a little bit about ambition. Now, is ambition a bad thing? No, but ambition can take us to bad places when it's unchecked, when it's not properly bounded by our ethics, by the desire to serve. And that's what we need to talk about. What is our ambition and what focuses our ambition? The simple formula of gospel living is that God loved us, proved it in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus, and that love should produce love in us for other people. And our ambition should be to seek God and to love others. It's really very simple. But often our ambition takes us to places where we think, well, what we need is to make a big splash. What we need is to be someone significant and have influence. But the scriptures don't talk about ambition that way. And in fact, it focuses us on this idea that we should seek God first. Seek his kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. And that ambition to seek God often takes us to small and quiet places. Paul makes that very clear in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 when he says, "We urge you, brothers, to do this more and more, and to aspire to live quietly, and to mind your own affairs, and to work with your hands as we instructed you, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one." And this is hard for us to wrap our heads around, particularly those of us who live in 21st century America, where we're dominated by social media and constantly encouraged to make something of ourselves, to be somebody. Our ambition is to be a person of impact and influence. But there's a wonderful example of this in the movie Field of Dreams. Maybe you've seen the movie. On the surface, the movie's about baseball, but really it's about disappointment in life and the hope for resolution and reconciliation in our relationships. As we get into the movie, there's this man named Doc Graham, who in his youth played for the New York Giants in the minor leagues, but then he got his big debut, but he only played half inning. He only served in the outfield for 3 outs, and then he got sent back down, and he decided, I'm done with the game, and he went back home, and he became a small town doctor. Now, he dreamed of getting a hit in the big leagues, and the main character of the movie, Ray Kinsella, played by Kevin Costner, comes to Doc Graham, and if you know the story, he has this field of dreams where old baseball players come and live out their dreams. And he says, hey, you can come with me and have your dream. But Doc Graham declines. He says, no, I'm not going to go. And Ray can't understand it. And he says to him, 50 years ago, for 5 minutes, you came this close. It would kill some men not to get so close to their dream and not touch it. They'd consider it a tragedy. And Doc Graham responds, son, if I'd only gotten to be a doctor for 5 minutes, now that would have been a tragedy. And as Ray tries to wrap his head around this experience, he talks to his companion, the author Terrence Mann, played by James Earl Jones, and he says, why did we come here to see him? Did he change the world? And Terrence Mann says, he did for these people. And they read stories in newspaper articles about Doc Graham and how he changed the life of kids and families in his service of that small town. That was a noble ambition, the service of others. And that's what God wants for us to experience, to live out. As we are challenged with the temptation of ambition to be somebody, Jesus challenges us to have a different ambition, and that's one of service. He has served us, and so we should serve others. So I encourage you all, when you think about ambition and the temptation that ambition brings, the ambition is not the problem. Ambition itself is not the problem. It's what our ambition is focused on. I pray that your ambition will be to serve the people around you. Blessings on you all.